What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Brent Watches Babylon 5 for the very first time. My name's Brent. I'm watching Babylon 5 for the first time. Today's episode, Season 4, Episode 21. This is the penultimate episode of Season 4. I'm so excited to get here. We just had Earth liberated from the clutches of President Clark and all those folks. And in this episode, my prediction last week was Sheridan was going to stand before the Board of Inquiry. They're going to clear him, of course. And I think he's also going to be getting more and more famous, more and more popular, and he's going to be offered some sort of a high government position, maybe be promoted to general or admiral, whatever the next rank is for him. Maybe people even want him as the new president because Earth needs a new president now, right? Something like that. But it's going to be something where he has to decide to either stay there on Earth or go back to Babylon 5. And of course, in the end, he's going to pick to go back to Babylon 5 because we still have Season 5 to go, and that's where he needs to be, right? So yeah, that's what I think. Also, we're probably going to clean up the Marcus Ivanova stuff, and we'll see what's going on there. So that's my prediction. Is that what really happens? I don't know. We'll find out here in the next 45 minutes or so. And you guys are going to join me for that journey as you comment down below. And I ask you, please do comment down below. But when you do so, keep it spoiler free. We're so close to the end, guys. We've made it this far. Let's make it the rest of the way. We can absolutely do it. Okay. Also, like, subscribe, share the video, all that sort of stuff. You guys know how it works on YouTube. Let's get to the episode. Here we go.
We can confirm now that President Clark took his own life at 2:53 a.m. EST rather than face trial for his actions. The body has been left in place for examination and documentation by the Justice Department.
Did that have a tag that
battle,
said traitor to
Sheridan
Earth?
surrendered to Earth Force authorities, who will now decide whether or not charges will be pressed for his actions taken during and preceding the battle.
Exactly what I said.
Despite Sheridan's current high standing in public opinion polls, his decision to act against his fellow officers must be explained and justified. In an impromptu...
Time out. That's incredibly and entirely proper and appropriate that Sheridan would have to do that. Absolutely. With his people. He'll do it. They'll agree with him, but it's a formality, but it needs to be done. So that's right. I'm 100% for that. No problems.
Acting President Susanna Luchenko of the Russian
already a
Consortium
president. Okay.
urged the public to remain calm.
We realize that many of you want revenge. Give the courts and the legal system time to prosecute those responsible. Only a sane and careful study of the facts will allow us to separate those who were willing partners in President Clark's reign of terror.
Are they both dead? Is this a Romeo-Juliet situation? Oh, yeah. Oh, the over-dramatic plate drop. Ah! That's all she could have done that would have made that more dramatic is ah! I noticed something, and I want to go back. I want to show you guys because I am entirely curious about this. During the president's little talk here, right? You can kind of see it in the still shot. There's an aide standing over her shoulder, and this lady comes up and talks to him and hands him a piece of paper. I want to know what that conversation was all about. I want to know if that's going to come back into it because something looks like it's happening. I thought for sure he was going to interrupt her or something like that, but I want to know. I want to know what's going on there. Okay, let's jump ahead and get into this episode. So far, paint by numbers, exactly what I said. Not that I'm a big clairvoyant person. This is just what needs to happen in this episode. So here we go. Let's go.
I was just lying there and I was feeling myself letting go of my body. I'm going to die now. And then I heard this voice coming from far away saying, I love you. And I thought, was this God? He really did have an English accent, just like in all those old movies. Forced my eyes open. And there he was next to me. And we were hooked into that damn machine, and I tried to pull it apart, Stephen. I swear to God, I tried. I couldn't even move. I couldn't move.
Wow.
Look,
time out.
there was nothing that you could do.
That piece right there may be the best acting job I've seen by Claudia Christian in this whole series to date. That was really good. That was really good. And like I started feeling for her, and almost like her and Marcus really had this long-term relationship going on here. It wasn't really a relationship. Like that's good bit of acting on her.
Here was Marcus. I knew he'd never hurt me, and I knew he loved me. I knew it. And he gave so much, and he wanted so little in return. He just wanted a kind word or a smile, and all I ever gave him in 2 years was grief.
You knew it wasn't going to work out.
Maybe I should have just tried one more time. No, I can't. At least I should have boffed him just once.
Boffed? Did you just say boffed?
That's the type of thing he would have said. All love is unrequited, Stephen. All of it.
I don't buy into that philosophy at all. I do not. That almost feels like a JMS line, like he put that in Ivanova's mouth. But I appreciate the tenderness of the moment here.
Hello, Captain. I hope you don't mind my stopping by to visit.
Is that Bester?
I told the staff we were such good friends. I want to know if my lover was one of the telepaths you used to disable the fleet in your little war.
Uh-oh.
Because if she was,
Uh-oh.
and if she was killed because of it, you have to understand that you will not leave this room alive.
Bester's about to go
amazing
poop on
that you
Sheridan.
think that threats still mean anything to me. Using telepaths to take over ships from the other side was the hardest decision I ever made. I had Franklin go through their files, pick out the ones that were single, no families, who were almost certainly incurable.
Carolyn is single. She has no family. The only thing we ever had was each other.
I know. I know what it's like to lose someone, only to find her, then lose her a second time. I wouldn't wish that on anyone, not even you, as much as I might want to. Carolyn's still back at Babylon 5. She'll be transferred here as soon as things settle down.
Is he sure? Actually, I find that really neat that Sheridan was specific in who he chose. And this actually goes back to my conversation last week about for respect of life. The one general didn't respect life. Sheridan did respect life. This is more just Sheridan respecting life. I very much appreciate this out of Sheridan. And I find it very interesting that he knows who's there. He knows their names. Like, that's really cool.
President's waiting outside. She'd like to speak to you, assuming you have nowhere else to go.
No.
They're going to clear him and offer him a promotion.
Well, Captain, you caused quite a stir. Half of Earth Force wants to give you a kiss on the cheek and the Medal of Honor. The other half wants you taken out and shot. As a politician, you learn how to compromise, which by all rights means I should give you the Medal of Honor, then have you shot. I confess the idea had a certain appeal when I mentioned it to the Joint Chiefs a few hours ago. Sit, please.
I like her.
So yes, you saved some lives. I'm not here to argue ethics with you, Captain. Right or wrong, you led an insurrection against your own government. Now we have to clean up the mess. I've scheduled a press conference for tomorrow morning. You'll explain that you did what you did for the good of Earth. But
That's true.
Your conscience does not permit you to remain in Earth Force. You'll tender your immediate resignation, and I'll see to it you will retain your military pension with full honors, and I'll guarantee amnesty for your officers and crew who served under you.
And if I refuse?
Okay,
You'll
maybe
be
I don't like
dishonorably
her.
discharged, court-martialed, and brought to trial. Don't make the mistake of assuming that this is a conversation. It isn't. You have no other options.
This is interesting. I said I liked her. Maybe I don't, but then maybe I do. Like, there's a piece where if you're going to lead a world, you're going to be that level of a leader, you kind of have to be as forceful as this. She's being fair. She's giving him an opportunity to retain everything that he's worked for and earned, but move forward with something new. And she's not really giving him the choice. And she has the means to back up what she says. So interesting. Like, I don't like the idea that Sheridan has to be forced out because of all of it, because he absolutely did the right thing. But she's got to play the game. She's got to be there in order to lead and go forward. It's a good deal. He should take it. He really should. He's not going to, but he should. See, here's the thing. It's not fair. It's not right. Sheridan has sacrificed a lot for Earth. There are factors at play here that are bigger than just the whims of this woman, because she's dealing in that world over there. It actually would be a sacrifice for Sheridan to have to do this, but he would do it for his world, to resign and allow these people to move on without him. And I mean, some sacrifice. He gets his full pension. He gets all his honors. Everybody gets amnesty. Like, it's a good deal. Sheridan should take this deal.
Will you put the amnesty for my crew in writing?
There you go, Sheridan.
Then I'll resign.
Yeah, good call. A good call. It's the right call. It sucks. She says it. It sucks. I get it. But it is the right call. See, this is good. So Sheridan can resign from Earth Force. He and Delenn can get married and go off and live. Or he can go back and live on the station at Babylon 5 as a civilian. Oh, and they put in a new captain, a new commander of the station. And oh, that's not going to be awkward with the former captain living right there. But it frees him to be able to go marry Delenn, and they can just kind of go do their life. I mean, obviously, we still have a whole other season of stuff that has to happen. I still say Sheridan goes back to Babylon 5, but maybe he doesn't. Oh, let's see what happens.
We must assume responsibility for those consequences.
He hasn't told Delenn about this, has he?
I and my fellow officers had to choose between what we were told was right and what we believed was right. And now I take full responsibility for those decisions. My presence would be a constant reminder of what has divided us, instead of that which brings us together. And for that reason...
This is a great speech.
And President Luchenko's generous offer of amnesty for all those who served under me, I am announcing my resignation from Earth Force.
Yep. All together right and proper. I
do this in the hope that those who fought on both sides will put aside their disagreements and come together in a new spirit of cooperation.
To commemorate this very special day, the League of Non-Aligned Worlds asked to address this gathering.
You have shown through your example that strength comes from a multitude of voices.
Here we go.
Brought together in common cause. Humans form communities. In that spirit, we have voted to dissolve the League of Non-Aligned Worlds and create a new alliance based on mutual cooperation and respect.
Is Sheridan going to go lead this new alliance?
An alliance.
Because now he's free.
Born in the diverse voices of many worlds, joined by their desire to build a better future and their decision to voluntarily recognize a common authority.
John Sheridan.
Best.
That's exactly what this is, isn't it?
Will help less advanced worlds improve their conditions, will encourage better relations between our races. Central to this process is a group of humans and Minbari, trained to work together and dedicated to the
Rangers.
higher principles of duty, honor, and peace. Among my people, they are called the Anla Shok. Among your people, they are called the Rangers.
This looks threatening. I don't know about this. This feels very threatening. If I'm all those people in that audience and the president.
Stay only where they are invited to stay. This is a political and economic alliance, not one based on military strength. If you accept, we believe it will signal a new age, peace, and prosperity.
I feel like we literally just saw the creation and formation of the United Federation of Planets. That's exactly what it feels like we just saw. 100% Sheridan's going to lead this new alliance. 100% this is how this is going to go down.
If we decide to pursue this, who should we negotiate with? You?
No. The three of us make up the advisory board of the new alliance. We have a duly elected president.
And where can I find this president?
You! Funny thing about retiring. You no sooner pick out the places you want to go on vacation than someone comes at you with another job offer.
Did he know before?
Certificate of amnesty.
Oh, that. I gave copies of that to the reporters outside, and the original is someplace safe. I guess the war finally taught them that we are better together than apart.
There you go.
We've been building this thing up for months, bit by bit, making them rely more and more on the Rangers and each other. But if they decided against the alliance, or if they wanted somebody else, well, I was fine with that too.
I love that Sheridan didn't know, but he knew. I love that.
There's someone here you may want to see.
My honey, that's my baby. Oh, it's his dad. Oh, Dad.
Oh, are you okay? Fine, I'm fine.
Buddy.
As soon as you got out, they started being real nice to me all of a sudden. I think they figured out they were on the wrong side and there'd be hell to pay if anything happened.
Oh, you bet.
How's Mom? They never got near her. She's with friends in Minneapolis.
Oh, geez, I can't handle this. Oh my God, I cannot do this.
My new daughter-in-law.
Oh.
Well, welcome to the family.
Thank you.
Mr. President, President Luchenko is waiting for you. Sir.
Oh.
Mr. President?
Not of Earth, Dad.
It's
another long story. Well, there'll be plenty of time for storage later.
Good evening. President Susanna Luchenko met today with representatives of the newly formed Interstellar Alliance. In a historic move, Earth has agreed to join forces with the new alliance.
Good.
In the same press conference, the newly elected president of the Interstellar Alliance, John Sheridan, had this surprising revelation.
Now, in order to join the alliance, the rights of the colony worlds must be respected. Later this afternoon, President Luchenko will sign an executive order declaring Mars a free and independent world.
In related Babylon 5 news, in one of his last acts as an officer in Earth Force, Captain John Sheridan promoted Susan Ivanova to the rank of full captain. Citing the death of a close friend and other personal reasons, Captain Ivanova has asked for and received a transfer to one of the new Warlock-class destroyers for a one-year shakedown cruise. In a statement issued a few hours ago,
she is leaving the show?
Only, I need to decide where my heart belongs before the rest of me can follow.
Sources tell ISN they will head up the newly formed alliance from Babylon 5 until more permanent facilities can be located in Tuzanor on the Minbari homeworld.
Why are they going to put the capital on Minbar? Should be more neutral.
How does it feel to make history?
You do not make history. You can only hope to survive it.
As marriage ceremonies go, the humans are very strange indeed.
Londo has celebration streamers in his hair.
They are quite a couple, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
G'kar has it on his head.
It almost makes you wish that you could peek in on them, see how it's going. G'kar, the artificial eye that Dr. Franklin gave you. Where is it?
He is peeking, isn't he? Ooh. How do you just leave that on the table and like nobody's gonna notice it?
It was the end of the Earth year 2261, and it was the dawn of a new age. The Telepath War and the Drak War. The new alliance would waver and crack, but in the end, it would hold. Because what is built endures. And Babylon 5 endures.
So, was that the season finale? Because that's how that felt like that went. Like, that's the season finale. Or they just telegraphed the entirety of season 5 for us, which I'm okay with. People are like, oh, it's a spoiler. No, listen, the show just told us. The Drak War, the Telepath War, the cracking of the Alliance, but then the Alliance holds. And she also said over the next 20 years. I seem to remember they thought that Babylon 5 was being canceled. And so it feels like they're wrapping up the series here. It really does. And she just kind of said, hey, that's the stuff we would have done if we had a season 5. Surprised they're about to get it, I guess. That's just what it feels like. I have no idea. This episode felt like a double episode to me. It really did. It felt like a big two-parter. Granted, there's just so much that happened, but I loved it. I loved how Sheridan got one over. I loved the president. I thought she was fantastic as a president. She was scary when she got mean, but she was doing what she needed to do in that role, and she was very fair. And she even led them into the Alliance. And the Alliance, okay, so that's how Sheridan stays on Babylon 5. Little contrived that they're going to host it on Babylon 5 until they can go to Minbar. Whatever. Good stuff. Hey, listen, you guys make sure you join me on Monday when Jeff and I are going to get together. We'll dive into everything having to do with this episode. What's left for next week? She just said it's the end of the year. What's left for next week? I have no idea. It is the season finale next week, so make sure you guys join us for that. But for this week, join us on Monday. Jeff and I are going to talk about this episode. You guys out there, like, subscribe, share this video, all that sort of stuff. See you guys next time.